Hello everyone. I've got some really amazing cards to share today. So I recently got a jelly plate and have been playing with my jelly prints. So I've got 5 cards, to share that I've made with the jelly prints. They are just amazing. In the beginning of the video, I showed some of the other jelly prints I've got. I didn't think to take a picture before I cut them up for the cards. So on this first card, this paper was actually rescued from the recycling, and it was just a printout of music lyrics and chords that my husband was using. So, looking back, I didn't like using the cheap printer paper on the jelly plate, but this was an amazing print that I got out of it. So, of course, I could not waste it. I had to use it. And I love using cheesecloth in journals and all kinds of creative projects. I love the look it gives. So that's what I'm using here in the lower left corner of this card. The die cut, the flower there, that's a really old one I've had forever. Now these two are from a Spellbinders kit and just extras that I didn't use. So they're great in these cards. I just kind of looked at the colors that were in the print and then looked at the different kits that I have that I still have pieces of to find some that went together. And the great thing about the Spellbinders kits is all the pieces in it coordinate so nicely, so if I find the colors that are in these prints, then I can use them easily with the pieces from the kit. But I also brought in some of my extra embellishments that I just have, scraps and things. And it was really fun working it out. And my thinking here is, I think for a lot of the cards, I'm just adding a little focal point. So the showpiece is the jelly print, but then there's a little focal cluster for your eye to land on and a message as well. And so this sticker that I'm showing here, the hello, I think it came in one of those planner type sticker books. It's very thin and flimsy, and I have it on some acetate so I could kind of see where I wanted it before I placed it down. It was kind of difficult to use, but it was just the right size and had just the right amount of shimmer with the gold, so I went ahead and used it, and I used some liquid glue to kind of keep it down there. And that is it for that beautiful card. And at the very end of the video, I have some stills photos that I took. So for this second card, I'm using some gold thread or twine or whatever you want to call it. Look at that print. Amazing. And in retrospect, I think, man, I should have scanned these first, which I didn't. So, but they're one of a kind, and maybe next time I'll take the beautiful prints and scan them first. Still figuring out how to scan things properly. So for this one, to get the gold thread down, I just used a few glue dots to hold it kind of in place. So what I'm going to do is just kind of like a little messy cluster of the gold so that it sticks out behind my little focal flower cluster there. And the green and gold leaves are from a previous Spellbinders kit. I've been getting them monthly since about May of last year, I think, but I also was able to purchase a couple older kits that they had on clearance, so these may have been from one of those older kits. I'm not really sure. I have a book that I briefly show later on that I made to hold embellishments in that I just picked colors out of. So that flower right there is actually, I believe, from a Daphne's Diary, just one of those fussy cut. And I've got this foam tape that I recently found at Daiso, which was a great deal, $1.50 for that. That's what I used on the back of this. It looks like an iris, this flower here. So I'm trimming up the gold twine, and I just loved the colors, how they all it's picking up that purple in my jelly print. Really love how that works together. And I'm tucking in some strands, just getting it the way I like it here. And then this is another Spellbinders die cut that came in a kit. And some of these I, had taken out of the kit and just collected in my embellishment book. So I'm not sure which kit it came in, but it just went great with this card. And that's it for that one. Really gorgeous, and I love how they have the gold. So this was most of the things I used on this card were from the September 2019 card kit, and I think that's not one that I got as a monthly subscriber. I think that's one of the ones I got on clearance. because yeah, I think I started in May of 2020. Anywho, so the chipboard sticker came from that kit, and there's some extra things there. That would be the one with the sentiment there that I'm placing down. And then I have these foliage, gold foliage. I don't know which kit those came in. Those, again, I pulled out of my little embellishment book, which I believe I'm going to pull into the frame here. Yes, this beautiful book. And I'm going to try to remember to link the video in the description so that you can have a look at that. But see how I have it color coordinated? And so then I just flip the color I want to look for, and I'm able to pull in elements for these cards really easily. So that's been a really nice resource. The only drawback is I don't know which kit they came from, because the ones that I think it's when I don't have a lot left or something of the kit, I order it by color, and I just work better that way. I think that's how I like to have things organized, by color. I like to pull by the color. But yeah, unfortunately, you can't necessarily know exactly where it came from if you don't have it written down somewhere. So for this gold butterfly, I believe it's a Fiskar's Punch that I have, that and the gold is from one of the card kits, from the gold paper that comes in the kit, and I just punched it with my punch. But I actually got it out of that book because whenever I punched it, I didn't use it, and so put it in that book. And then again, these little gold embellishments, not really sure where I got them in the first place, but I had them tucked into my little embellishment book, and so all the pieces came together very quickly for this card. And this one is one of the prints where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had scanned it. I do still have half of the page, which maybe I will scan that, because that was an 8x10 sheet. So this kit that I'm using here is Vintage Mementos. Now that one was one I was a subscriber for. I loved that kit, I really did. But see all the extra pieces I still have, and I even did a video with 10 cards that you can find on my channel very easily. Actually, I did a couple of projects with that kit too, and I still have tons of extras. So, but this page, yeah, this is another one that I really wish I had scanned. Oh man, but it's just a beautiful print. And then this little piece came from the Stay Wild, and I think the Stay Wild kit was another one that I picked up on clearance. That's a great value. If you go on there and find a kit that's on clearance, if you like it enough, pick it up. It's a really great value, because the kits I think are a good value anyway, but then to get them like discounted, that's even better. Anywho, so I'm tucking the little clock in beneath that chipboard photo slide thing, and look at this peacock. Those colors, they're just amazing. They worked really well with the paints that I had used on these jelly prints, and so I decided I'm going to add a little mounting tape to the peacock's tail end there, so that it can kind of stick out there. And then To My Dear Friend was a die cut sentiment included in that kit. And even that color went really well. What a happy little cluster of colors. Yeah. So I'm going to finish putting these butterflies on, and that's it for this card. And they really are, I don't know if they photograph as well, but they're stunning in person. Because they have just a little bit of shimmer, but then those jelly prints, they're really amazing. And believe me, I mean, I'm no expert jelly printer. I got lots of ugly ducklings. So this one's featuring this Stay Wild kit. And I didn't do 10 cards for that one, because I believe that was a clearance one. But had lots of fun playing with it anyway. Now this print I had done on vintage book paper, which I probably won't do anymore because it's so fragile. You saw there I just tore it to pieces. So it was already tearing. That's why I've already backed it to a piece of black card so that it didn't tear anymore. It really is pretty. The book was in fact a vintage arithmetic book, so that's what is kind of peeking out beneath the paint there. And then another one of those chipboard photo slide frame things. Love the stickers that came in that kit. Shimmery and dimensional. And I put this one down here. Actually, let's move that butterfly up a bit there. And I bring in my bone folder to help adhere. The bottom layer is adhesive, and then it has, like, I think 3 or 2 layers of wings. So I'm just kind of curling the wings up here. Give it some flight and some life. And then there's this little die cut floral piece that I'm gonna go ahead and tuck underneath that bottom right hand wing there. And the sentiment says, keep life simple. I liked that. I think it goes well with this card. And that is it for the 5th jelly print card. Here's some stills. I hope you enjoyed seeing them and it inspires you. If you have jelly prints or even just some cool pattern papers that you've not been using, pull them out, and if you have extra kit pieces, check out the colors and put something together with it. Thanks for watching again, and have a wonderful and creative day. Bye!